Hello everyone and welcome to Hawkeye Traders. My name is Randy Lindsay. I'm host of today's live interactive session. I'm here to educate and inform you on the proper use of Hawkeye on the live edge of the market. Today's feature will be on the MetaTrader 4 platform. We'll be showing all the Hawkeye tools on the MT4 platform today in today's class. If you have other questions about other platforms like NinjaTrader, TradeStation, or TradingView, please hold them to the end of the presentation. I'll be glad to go through short demonstrations of those if you so choose. But I'll be spending the bulk of today's class on MetaTrader 4. So if you have your questions or comments over on the right-hand side of your GoToWebinar control panel is a questions pane. Please enter your question or comment there. I'll be more than glad to get to them in the order that they're received. We'll make sure that everyone knows that we are here for educational purposes only, that we are not registered trading advisors, so we cannot give you trading advice. We want to make sure that you understand and know the risks involved in trading, because trading in the forex market has a large amount of risk, but it also has a large potential for reward. But you've got to know what the risks are and be aware of them in order to trade in these markets. And make sure that you understand them and that you do not trade with money that you can't afford to lose. Please use common sense when you trade in these markets. Make sure you get advice from a competent financial advisor before investing your money in futures, forex, stocks, or commodities, or even cryptocurrencies. Past performance is not indicative of future results, so make sure that you are aware of all the risks before you start trading with real live money in a real live trading account. I suggest that you only trade with simulated funds until you have proven that you can consistently and profitably trade well. Let me shut this down. All right. Looking good. I currently have the Tomahawk System set up, showing the dashboard where I've been monitoring the pound yen this morning. So I had a really beautiful setup. The Tomahawk scanner was showing a large trend of strength building on the pound. The strength that was in the yen has completely dissipated and is showing extreme weakness. So a pound yen setup was imminent. So I started looking at the Fatman. The Fatman was showing that the pound was extremely weak. The yen was extremely strong. But once volume started coming in, if you notice the color of this volume bar right here, it is painted the same color as the pounds. Tomahawk is color coded like that, and it shows you that pound strength is starting to come in. All of the yen strength became exhausted, and then the pound strength started coming in. You can see that even on the 15-minute, the 5-minute, nice double bottom, nice pivot coming in. You can even see it on the 3-minute and the 1-minute. Hawkeye is unique in that it allows you to, on your live charts, have multiple time frames. So a 3-minute chart on MT4 is very possible. We're looking at a 1-minute, 2-minute, 3-minute, 15-minute, 60-minute time frame scanner where we are scanning for all of the strength or weaknesses of the pairs that are here. So the Tomahawk system is a unique system in that it gives you the ability to quickly glance and see color code, so you can see when the pound, which is orange, starts to show itself on the trend, on the volume, any of the other tools, then you know that there's strength building in that pound. When the color changes to purple, you know that the strength is building in the yen. So we're always looking for strength. And then the Fatman shows us the relationship of strength versus weakness. So when you see strong, 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 weak, 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 and then you can see this starting to plateau or even turn, then you can take advantage of that in the faster or shorter time frames. Okay, so 1 minute, you can see you could have easily taken 1-minute type scalp trades where you would have entered and taken about a 40 to 50 pip move. If you are trading a little bit slower or more conservative time frame, like a 3-minute, then your initial entry, all right, would have given you about a 60 pip move. Here you've got a 5-minute that triggered right here. Okay, a little bit more risk because you're getting in a little bit later, all right? But you can still see that you've gotten about a 56 pip move. So following Hawkeye you can see that a lot of the faster moves can be taken advantage of if you are in tune with what's going on in the overall trend. So looking at the longer term, you can see there was a lot of weakness in that pound. It's just starting to come back. Now this very easily could simply just be a corrective rally, waiting and setting up for a continuation. But if you are a shorter term trader, trading the 1 minute, the 3 minute, or the 5 minute, you can see that there were very good, clear, profitable opportunities available. So if you were sitting back and watching this, if the scanner was starting to show you these types of setups, then you were already ready and waiting on these positions. If you're using the standard Hawkeye software, then let me go back and pull up a standard Hawkeye. Here is a Hawkeye total package for MetaTrader. Hawkeye total package has the same tools where we're looking at trend and volume and heat map, but these are not color coded. They're always going to be red for a downtrend or green for an uptrend. So you've got to know that the pound is the primary pair, all right, the primary instrument. The yen is secondary, so primary is always going to be leading. So if the trend is red, that means you have weakness in the pound and strength in the yen. If the green trend is green, then you know that the pound is strong and the yen is weak. Okay, so that's the same thing. So green means long, red means short. Simple color code analogy there. You can also see from the same Fatman that you've got pound building with strength. So the same color codes of the Fatman do apply across all Hawkeye tools. So you can see an initial long has been provided here. If you're trading with Hawkeye, then you can see that you can establish or set your levels at a point where you see a good trade entry. Trading a 15-minute versus a 30 and an hourly chart, you can set your Hawkeye tools to trade multiple time frames as well. So your roadkill identifies the alignment of the trends, and the levels show you the risks that you can take within that trade. So it is a complete package, a complete trading system that allows you to take advantage of these in a trading plan that can be definitive, where you can say, this is where I need to get in, this is where I need to get out, or this is where I need to get out. This is where I need to set my stop, or this is where I need to set my stop. And so it's all correlated and it can be all traded at once. You don't need to second guess yourself if you have been able to definitively set up a rule base that you can follow to prove that you can consistently take profits from these markets. All right, if you do have questions along the way, please feel free to ask. I'm here to demonstrate and to show you. Our most popular software, this demonstrates the total package where it provides all of the tools that we have. The most popular one we have is the volume package. So let me show you what the volume package does. Hawkeye Volume shows you the build of volume over a specific time frame, and we're looking only at volume here. So you can see the volume, the price bars are colored the same color as the volume. So whenever you see volume coming in at a specific price point, it gives you a real clear understanding and a heads up of the directional intent of price, where the buyers are coming in and why they're coming at this level. Very attractive, okay, for the pound. And so you can see that the pivots are going to be pushing the price up. These high pivots are going to be pushing the price down. When you have a channel that gets reversed, and you can easily connect the lines, and so a break of that down channel gives you also clear indication. So the more you understand about volume and price together, the better trader you're going to be. And Hawkeye tools give you that ability to be able to easily see that and take advantage of it in a market. So whether you're trading the 5-minute, the 15, the 30, or you're trading them all together, you can see there's been a unified reversal of strength in this market, and you're looking for potential either short-term reversal or longer-term reversal type trade setups within the pound yen. And this is just the volume package. I do have specials for getting started with volume. Our volume starter package normally sells for $397, but during today's class, I do make it available to you for a very special price of only $97. So let me give you that link if you want to get started. Also, this coming weekend is going to be a Memorial Day. Every year over the Memorial Day weekend, we honor those who gave their lives for our freedom. So we always provide really nice discounts over the Memorial Day weekend. So this coming weekend, starting Saturday or maybe even Friday night, I think, going all the way through Monday, we're going to be holding our regular 20% off all products that are over $100 sale. So if you really want to get started with Hawkeye, the best way is to start with the volume starter package today. Lock in that 80 or whatever percent profit that you discount today, and then upgrade to one of the other packages, locking in the discount today and getting an additional 20% off on any upgrades that you can get over the weekend. So I think that would be a really great start. Those of you who have already started, who already have your starter package, this is the best time of the year to try to upgrade and to get those upgrade packages going, or to add to your arsenal any of the individual tools that we do sell. If you go to Hawkeye Traders website, hawkeyetraders.com, then you'll see all the options available there. The discounts do not apply to our subscription programs, but they do apply to the outright purchase of any of the products. So here it is, www.hawkeyetraders.com. And if you click under the store, then you'll be able to see all the purchase options. Or if you click on subscription, then you can see all the subscription options that are available. All right, so let me go back and see. I've got, we're looking at longer, shorter term. Here's the volume package all together again. So here you've got the Hawkeye volume coupled with the Hawkeye standard package, and you've got the professional, or what we call the total package for MetaTrader, loaded in also. Some of the tools that we have do not work on MetaTrader because it's a time-based only system. So some of our more advanced tools like the gearbox and the gear changer, the scanners and stuff aren't available on MT4. Some of the features like automatic cursor alignment aren't available on standard MT4. In order to change the symbols, you have to go in and drag and drop symbols in there. But if you take advantage of MT4 Professional, and let me show you that real quick. MT4 Professional is an awesome platform that allows you to integrate all of those features together. So you can see I've got a vertical alignment going on here. So when I see an initial entry point right here, I can take my vertical alignment bar and move it to that point, and it will automatically align on all of my charts the position of that to allow me to see when that trade came in. So when I see this price extension with the opposing volume coming in, all right, then that tells me quite a bit about that. So let me pull this back in so I can see it. There it is. Let me select that one and move it back to that point. And I can see right here on this is a 5-minute chart. My 15-minute is already in a well-established downtrend, but when that correction came back in, volume was starting to signal that it was going to continue. So this was already a continuation, this was a continuation, this was continuation. So this made it very easy for me to watch for and enter a new trade position here, take my profits as they came, as I started to see reversals coming in. Okay, so when I saw this bar post, that's the point where I'm going to be taking profits. Then when I see this bar post right there, then you can see on the other charts that that is a very solid reversal signal. I would be wise to either take the rest of my profits or get out of the trade at this point. Start looking for reversal signals to come in. And that's exactly what I'm getting right now. I'm looking for the euro to start to come back in. I can see lots of volume starting to build on the 5-minute, on the 15-minute. I'm starting to get volume, positive volume bars on the 30-minute. I haven't seen it on the 60 yet, but it's starting to build. So I'm just waiting for any confirmation on that. The US dollar is continuing a trend of strength. It's starting to oscillate here a little bit. The euro has a trend of weakness. It's oversold. Looks like it might be turning, so we might be in for a short-term correction, but that's very easy for us to see. So looking on the scanner, here we have a 5, 15, and 30-minute time frame scanner for all of our symbols. The euro US dollar, you can see, is a nice trend of weakness here. We're starting to go back into weakness, but the volume on the longer term is coming out. But we need to see that continue to transition into a long. You can see the euro yen has just started to go green. You can see that the Aussie CAD is a nice green trend, as well as the dollar Canadian. So the weakness of the Canadian is evident here across the scanner. So it's really easy to look on all of the symbols across multiple time frames. The MT4 Professional Scanner gives you that ability to do that. Okay, if you are interested in the MT4 Professional platform, then here is the link for that right here in the little chat window here on our platform. So click on that and it'll give you more information about MT4 Professional, getting the environment set up here. So if I click on any of these, like the pound yen we were looking at, pound yen is right here. I'll just one click on the symbol and it automatically updates all my charts to that symbol to give me alignment and the ability to pull those in. So you're seeing the exact same setup right there. You can see the heat map had not come back in yet, but you are getting the same volume information coming across there. So Hawkeye works beautifully on MT4 Professional. The new features, the new scanner that they have set up on MT4 allows you to go in and do all kinds of really nice comparisons. So I define all of my Hawkeye tools here. Using the indication guide, I can put whatever parameters I want in there and the color code definitions for what they do. A solid background tells me that my trend is either long or short or neutral. Okay, the volume is put on the, where's the volume at? Yeah, the volume is put right here on the, and that one's set up as heat map. I have to change that. On the highlight, so the dot in the middle is going to be the volume color. And the heat map itself, 4 different colors, is the border color. So the outlines you see of each one of these boxes are the color of the heat map. So I can see very quickly trend, volume, and heat map information across all the boards. Now I can see why the volume here looks a little bit off, and that's because I have my highlight for that M5 set to a heat map rather than a volume. So I'll be able to fix that and update that in a little bit. Okay. Other features of the new MT4 version 2.0 is that it gives you the ability to look at any crossing. So if I'm looking at the crossing of the Fatman, or if I'm looking at the crossing of price with a moving average, or if I'm looking at a moving average crossing a moving average and so forth, then I can scan for those setups as well and pull those in. So any more questions about that, let me know. I'll be glad to demonstrate more of the MT4 Professional platform to you. Hello, KC. You're very welcome. You can change the settings on the volume indicators to calculate every tick or see if the developing bar is green or neutral. That is correct. That is absolutely correct. So if you look at the volume and if you look at the indicator for the volume, that's the roadkill. The volume gives you the ability to calculate either on every tick, which means that this leading bar is going to show you the color of the bar as it develops, or on the close of the bar. Then it will be a neutral bar, and it will not paint the color of the bar until that current bar closes. It can be misleading if you can see the colors changing as it's developing. So this can go green, and then it can go white, then it can go red. So that's why we color it purple during development if it's only on close, and it's not quite as misleading that way. But Casey, thanks for the reminder of that. Appreciate the feedback. Timothy, what do I think about footprint charts? Well, I don't have the ability to show footprint charts here on MetaTrader 4, but if you can and can produce footprint charts, then they work really well with volume profile information. So um, I would recommend that, and I like it. I think it works out quite well actually. But we don't have the ability to show or to plot footprint charts here, so don't have that capability. You can customize NinjaTrader, I believe, for that, but you also cannot do footprint charts in TradeStation either, or in TradingView. You're welcome. Any questions so far? Otherwise, we'll continue on with the demonstration. We're looking at that this being an initial input. The initial input is with risk if you're trading the 15-minute chart. It's a 15, 30, and 60-minute. 15-minute looking at a 30-minute roadkill, a 30-minute heat map. You can see that the 30-minute heat map is still bright red. So in order to take the trade based on a 15-minute time frame, Hawkeye rules tell us that we need to at least see a dark heat map. So we need to wait for that. So everything else has aligned. You can see that the volume, the trend, the fat man, everything else is set up except for that second time frame heat map. We need to see some weakness there. But this just means that you're taking about a 75% probability trade. So you've got 25% out, and so you're looking for you've got some risk on the table. Basically, is what it's telling you. You've got 50% here, given the roadkill volume alignment. That's about 75%. So you're risking about 25% here, not in terms of dollars or anything, just in terms of overall risk based upon your alignment parameters. Switching this to a 5, 15, 30-minute time frame, then you probably would have aligned everything perfectly, because you can see the 15-minute has already gone green, so a 5, 15, 30 with green volume would already have given you a nice entry. John, how do we get the special pricing that I mentioned, and how much did you say it would be? If you look over in the chat box over here on the right-hand side, there's a couple of chat messages over there. One of them is a link to a special page to get the Hawkeye Volume starter package. That way you can get started today at a great discount. You can go ahead and purchase the other ones, but if you wait until Friday, then we'll be sending out an email to let everyone know that we have 20% off of all of the tools, or they're over $100, so you can get started on that. And then there's also a link there if you're interested in getting a subscription for MT4 Professional. The special is $97 for the volume starter package. Let me show you that. The volume starter package is right there. These are the tools that are included. There are 5 tools included with it. It's Hawkeye Volume, the Hawkeye Volume Radar. Those are the small dots that you see here on volume, showing ultra low volume, high volume, or ultra high volume. You also get the Hawkeye Volume Paint Bar, which colors the price bars the same color as volume. You also get the Hawkeye pivot, which shows you the pivot points. These are the yellow pivots, and the Hawkeye wide bar. That's the big purple bar here that shows you twice average true range. So these are volume bar extensions that show strength, weakness, or reversal capabilities. So that's what you would be looking for on that. This is the volume starter package to get going on that. And then once you have that, then you can upgrade to either the standard package. Okay. The standard package includes the Hawkeye trend and stops, the no progress indicator, the heat map. Of course, you already have the volume. It also includes the levels. So if you look at the indicator list, you can see that the Hawkeye levels, ATR, are also included. You get the countdown indicator right here. It tells you how much time is left in each individual price bar. Okay, and then you also get the grabber tools as well. So all these are available with the standard package upgrade, which you'll be able to lock that discount in. And then if you wanted to, you could go for the total package, which is the best value. That also includes the Hawkeye Roadkill and the Hawkeye Fatman. The Roadkill is probably the most popular tool of the upgrades because it's the one that shows alignment of the multiple time frames. And then you can plot any time frame on your chart, whatever that time frame is, using your Roadkill. Yes, the volume indicator doesn't care what instrument you use, so it works on stocks, it works on options even, if you have enough options data, and futures as well, absolutely. So if you have stock data or futures and options data on your MT4 platform, then absolutely it'll work right here on your platform. But I usually use other platforms for that. Right now, my Oenda platform only gives me forex data. So on TradingView, TradeStation, or NinjaTrader, I use the volume package for doing equities. What size tick chart would I use to complement a 5-minute chart? Tick chart? Well, Timothy, I can't really answer that question here because I don't have tick chart capability on MT4. So we do have a tick chart calculator, which is called the Gearbox and Gear Changer for the other platforms. If you want more information about that, then just simply go over to the website, hawkeyetraders.com. Under the indicators menu, you'll see a list of all the different indicators. The Gearbox and Gear Changer right here, click on those and it'll give you a lot more information about how we calculate the optimal tick speeds for each day. And so we use this calculator to help us to set our tick charts to the right speeds. But as you know, MT4 doesn't have tick chart capabilities, so we don't. I can't show that to you today. If you hang around till the end of the presentation, I'll be glad to pull up another platform that has the tick charts on it. And I can give you that. Also, if you have the Hawkeye Professional package, or if you go over here to the store under purchase options, or even the subscription options, any of those, you can look under the what's included, and you can see that if you have the standard package or higher, the professional package, then it also includes bonus indicators, which is a vertical countdown and time between bars. The time between bars is a tool that helps you to see the approximate time frame for a particular tick bar. So if you're trying to align your tick and time, then this will give you an approximation of an average number of bars of a tick chart to a relative time frame. So that's included with standard or professional package users. All right, David, good to see you, my friend. Yeah, okay. You have a separate instance of MT4. I do too. As you can see, I have MT4 right here running regular Hawkeye, and I've got MT4 over here running my MT4 Professional. So yes, I've got several instances of MT4 running at the same time, which is nice because I can populate all of my monitors with different instances, be working at the same time. So that's good. All right, send your question to support@hawkeyetraders.com, and I'll have my staff look into the into that. David, okay? Yeah, Casey. The Hawkeye pivot has a feature on it that allows you to extend that uh, that bar. That's the volume. Let me get the indicator list here. So if you look at the Hawkeye pivot indicator there, and you edit it, you can see that there is an extension line that you can turn on and off. Okay, so this is showing it. I'll turn it on real quick to show you. Then you can see the extension lines are automatically drawn on the two most recent pivot points. So yes, it's very good for drawing either extension channels, or if you're looking for congestion, it's a great way of identifying congestion channels. Here you can see the most recent isolated low, so that helps you to establish a nice safe region if you have just entered for potential pullback, because price usually will find this as support or this as resistance. So a break through resistance will be a continuation of trend, or a break through that support line will show a reversal potential, or in this case, a continuation of the existing trend. So yes, those are very good tools also to know that, and useful in helping you to identify congestion or places where you have congestion break. So thank you for pointing that out, Casey. Tim, you came late. That's okay. What exactly does the Fatman indicator tell you? All right, the Fatman is a strength meter. It is also like a stochastic where it shows you overbought and oversold. So right now we can see that the Japanese yen, which was extremely strong, is extremely overbought. These two lines right here show us a measure of where we can see a overbought condition, or in the bottom part, an oversold condition. So here yen is overbought. It's starting to trend down with weakness. So we can see a nice trend of weakness in the yen. Here the pound was extremely oversold, and it's starting to trend with strength. So a trend of strength versus a trend of weakness tells us that that pound yen is a good pair to be looking at for a potential long trade. Likewise, we see strength building in the Australian dollar and the New Zealand dollar. So relative to that yen weakness, we can be looking at potential trades on the Aussie yen long or the New Zealand yen long. Even the Canadian dollar against the yen would be a nice for a long, because that weakness has been showing itself. Okay, we can see that the euro is the US dollar, that's the blue line, is just starting to trend with weakness. Having been strong for a while, it is starting to double top, and it's starting to trend down. So the strength of the euro versus that looks like a potential entry and direction for that as well. So the Fatman is a unique tool in that it shows you individual strength and weakness relative to all of the other currency pairs. So on the hourly chart, you can see the yen is stronger than all of the others, and that right now it looks like either the Canadian or the pound is the weakest, is weaker than any of the other pairs. But on a 30-minute, or if we were to change this out to an even shorter time frame, you can see that on a 15-minute time frame, you get a little bit different picture. Nice trend of weakness here, nice trend of strength here, but you can still see that the pound isn't quite the strongest yet. The Australian and Canadian are. So it's a really useful and valuable tool to help you to see trend setup, strength and weakness, and overbought and oversold conditions. We know over time when something is overbought, it tends to cycle back to fair value. So anytime things are oversold, they cycle to fair value in the middle. If it's overbought, then it tends to cycle back to fair value. Here it went to fair value and then it went to being oversold. Now we're expecting it to cycle right back again. So those are trends that we like to know about and we like to take advantage of. So once we see those, it makes it real easy for us to take our charts and to take the trades when they're presented. SK. Just now you showed the dotted vertical line, which was showing same time on all the different charts. Yep. What was that? And what's that is the MT4 Professional package. MT4 Professional is a separate company which is not affiliated with Hawkeye, but all of our Hawkeye tools work beautifully in the MT4 Professional platform. It gives you lots of nice capabilities of vertical alignment, cursor alignment, so you can see exactly where all of the aligned points are at any particular time. So if I were to look at more of this, you can see that the time alignment comes in there on any chart that I've got. The single click integration, you can see I've got different platforms and workspaces, so you can replot any of your charts. I can pull up any of the workspaces that I have saved here before for looking at that and looking at the charts. So let me find one. There's one right there. It's just a 3-chart setup that I've got when I'm looking at different settings. Here you've got the same pound yen setup, but if I wanted to switch that over to the euro US dollar, just a single click allows me to check that off and to give me the same setup. So it's a 5, 15, and 30-minute setup. They're all pre-configured, so if I wanted to edit that, I can go in and define each one of those. So here I've got a template that's called the Hawkeye 2 Roadkill, and what that does is it allows me to set up a chart where I've got all of my Hawkeye tools with 2 roadkills already set up and ready to go. So every time it reloads and refreshes the screen, it's going to load that template on for me. And if I have a time frame established, it'll always set it to that time frame. Really, really cool. So I can save these, I can share them with my friends, I can define exactly where they are on the screen, either by physical position, or I can just drag them over and resize this window here to make it look like the one that I have here. So all of these are all very responsive to the chart that you have set up. Once you save it and redraw it, you can do any changes to this, but if you refresh the screen, it will automatically come back and redraw to that screen. All right, so where's my Too Fat Man? Hawkeye Too Fat Man 51536. Yeah, that was my original chart there. It's available on any MT4 broker, right? So MT4 Professional, the link that I gave you earlier, I think it's a $47 subscription, but you can, let me paste it there again. Yeah, I'll paste it in the chat box there for you if you want more information about that. They've got a lot of new updates coming out, so it'd be good to take advantage of that. You're welcome. Tim, I hope I answered your question as well. Guillermo, you use Thinkorswim? No, our tools do not work on the Thinkorswim platform. Sorry about that. You can use NinjaTrader with your Thinkorswim data feed. So you can trade your Thinkorswim account on NinjaTrader, and all of our tools work on NinjaTrader. So you might want to look into that. But we do not support the Thinkorswim platform right now. You want to see the pound dollar on an M15? Okay, let's do that. Looks like the pound yen is continuing. So this is a continuation move. We're breaking through the top side. Okay, So that continuation trend should already be in place, and you're looking for it to continue back. Look for overhead resistance right in this area, okay? And then look for the first stop or your first profit take to be right about here. If you're using the levels, all right, then let's put that levels on right here, right there. All right, so there's your initial stop, okay? Then it stops just above your pivot low, so I would probably move the stop just down a little bit. You can also define what those stops are. So if you go to your indicator list, you can edit that level's ATR value. Right now I have the ATR profit factor set to 2. All right, so I'm looking at 2 ATRs per level with a 1 ATR stop, so I'm looking at a 1-to-1 risk reward. Okay, so a 1-to-1 risk reward means that for whatever risk I put into that trade, get that exact same reward. Okay, so you can see that my level 3 is right at where resistance will be. So this actually looks like a pretty good level to me. But you want to look at the pound dollar. Pound dollar has been extremely weak, so let's look through that list. Pound dollar, there it is. Let's pull that over and pop it in. MT4 professional, all I have to do is just click on the symbol. Here it puts it right in. Yep, pound dollar looks like it's starting to set up well. Nice pivots across all 3 time frames. You can see a nice trend of strength, trend of weakness there, trend of strength and weakness. Here you've got it just rounding, and the dollar is extremely overbought. So looking at overall time frames, the Fatman is showing us that we do have a potential turn in this, and that pound dollar looks like a potential for a break. So it looks like we're just setting up for an initial entry long on the pound. The profit points for that we'll be looking at profit takes probably around this range here and right around this range here, because you're looking for where prior volume or prior price had caused congestion areas. And so all those stopping points are great profit take points, unless you like to continue to just hold. And if you're holding for the duration, then this pivot's going to push this up 3 to 5 price bars. So I would expect a retracement to this. But if you're looking on the overall longer term trend, you can see that the longer term trend is down because we structurally we still have a structure of lower highs and lower lows. But right now this downtrend is can be tested and probably will be tested right in this area. Okay, so from this point, all right, you're looking for about a 60 to 70 pip move. So that's your expectation. Nicholas, I hope that helped. Very good. All right. Are there other questions going on? We've got about 15 more minutes here today. Already had some two really clear, really good setups. I can see on my other platforms that the equity markets have opened with a bang again. Hawkeye was leading strong into all of the opens of these markets. So if you were looking at trading those markets using Hawkeye, then you would be probably greatly rewarded. But right now we're focusing specifically on the MT4 platform. And right now I'm just looking at forex. I don't have other data available to me on my Oanda platform, but I trade those other on different platforms. So for now, I'm exclusively showing MetaTrader 4 with forex. I'll be more than glad to show them later. The zones on a chart, absolutely. I do have a chart set up here. So intraday, longer string, scalp, and swing trading. Here the swing shows me the longer term setup. So I'm looking at here the pound dollar on longer term, daily, weekly, and monthly. Okay. These zones, this is a huge zone. That means that you've got a lot of of price that came back. Historically, there was a really big wide bar that defined that, so that's why you've got an extremely large price bar there. So swing trades, intraday trend trades. Okay, you got the same symbol. You've got the overhead resistance. Price comes into resistance, double tap, tests, and reverses back down again. You've got it coming in again here on the hourly. So hourly, 30-minute, 15-minute. So you can see longer term versus shorter term. This is a confluence area, so you know when price aligns on multiple zones, and that you know that that is an extremely strong area. And so multiple time frame zones give you confluence, and you want to make sure and see that setup. Okay, the lot bigger picture, you can see that that setup has other resistance levels. All the resistance levels are shown by red, and all the support levels are shown by green. And so you will see that as potential targets as well. So you can see any potential. So you can see this is extremely weak. Most of the zones are in the upper part of the scale, and there aren't a lot in the lower part. So if you wanted to see more zones, you'd have to add more data, and that's all. And then if you're looking at scalping timeframes, then I've got one set up here for scalping. And on the scalping, then you can also take advantage of the time zones as well. So these are specific times where usually we'll see either reversal patterns, okay? They're either on the hour or diverse hour, and they give high probability reversal signals when they're coupled at that time frame with a either supply or demand zone. But the time zones only work for 15-minute time frames or less. Okay, here's a nice little hit and money bounce. So money bounce is the first time that price comes up into a zone and tests it, and then it reverses back hard and it goes back to the prior support. So you can see that we just bounced off of that. So as soon as this bar closes, this bar is going to change, but as price was bouncing into there, you see high opportunity, high probability reversal, big opportunity, high probability reversal. So you got a capability to take advantage of both of those. And these are just the Hawkeye zones themselves, but you couple that with your other tools and it gives you some really nice trade opportunities. Cool. You just had an M5 roadkill, a move on the pound dollar. Okay, so looking like a 5. I thought you said 15, but yeah, absolutely. That M5 gave you a really nice signal right here. So here is the first roadkill alignment, okay, where you've got multiple dots aligning. So I call these double dots. You can see the alignment occurred here, but volume wasn't quite ready. Right here, volume was white, and so this is the first place where everything aligned, and you got everything pulled into place, and it gave you a very safe, high probability, low risk entry point. You can see that the value of the stops have already risen, and at that point, that gives you the ability to take that. So taking a trade at this point, literally you would have only risked about 12 pips, although with the stops in place, you would have been risking about 30. And then looking for the potential for that, you're looking for at least 30 or 60 out of that. You're currently up about 15 right now on that trade. So good job. That looks really good. That looks like you've followed the rules. And it looks like you've got another roadkill alignment here. So that's showing you that there's strength continuing and building even on the longer time frame. So this is looking at a 10-minute and 20-minute alignment. But if you are looking for the longer time frame, like a 15 and 30, you can set the roadkill to look at those. Right now, I have it automatically calculating based upon 2 times the time frame. So this is looking at an M10 on my M5, so 2 times. But if I wanted to see it relative to an M15 or an M30, then I can just simply edit that. The slow period, I can hard code it to be an M15 like this. And so this automatically calculates as an M15, or I can go in and change that to an I times 3. 3 times 5 is 15, so that should give me the exact same time frame and setup. And you can see M15 is still calculated and displayed here. But if I have that set up to an I times 2, 2 times the interval, then you can see now I have an M10 chart. And let me pull my magnifier up so you can see that a little bit better. See, it says Hawkeye Roadkill M10. So it displays the calculated time frame for that look, okay? And here I've got it set to an M20 because I'm doing an I times 4 on the M5 chart. M5, 15, and 30. Yeah, so you would set that up to be an I times 3. You probably would still want this to be an I times, let's see, if you want 15, 30. So 5 times 3 is 15, and then this would probably be an I times 6 if you wanted to go to a 30 times a 5. So 5, 15, 30, that would be I times 3, and that way you can change the time frames here to anything and it'll automatically update. If you can hard code them to 15 and 30 also. They both work. And of course you'll want to update these. So if that's 15, that would be the 15 and this would be the 30. Looks nice. Strength, strength, strength. Weak, weak, weak. So that looks good for continuation. Pivots are strong. You got some volume pushing that up. Pivots are really good. You got now you have established shorter term, higher highs, higher lows. You've broken out of the downtrend itself. You've broken second time frame volume and the stops. Now you're looking to see if that'll continue on your third time frame stop. So that looks good. I like the looks of that, and I think it's going to do well. Longer term, you are looking for a lot of weakness to return, and a lot of strength to return because it has been so weak. All that strength is going to come back right back in again. So against the U.S. dollar, looks good. It probably looks even better against the yen because the yen has been extremely strong. So I like both of them. So good play, Nicholas. I like that. We're almost out of time. You want me to look at anything else or pull up anything else at this time? As far as instruments, what I'm looking for setups, then like I said, right now the Australian or New Zealand look really nice for trade setups, and those trade ups against the Japanese yen probably look the best, although the US dollar looks promising as well because it's starting to show some trend of weakness. But that might not be as well unless you have a lot of strength. So if that Australian is coming back with strength, you might want to be looking for the yen or the US dollar against that. The euro, extremely weak. It's starting to turn up. So you could look at that euro dollar, the euro yen, maybe even the Swiss. I don't generally look at or trade the Swiss because it's so highly correlated to the euro. But if you like trading the Swiss, then trading the Swiss against those ones that are starting to come with strength, then that probably would do quite well. Specifically the CAD. Yes, Timothy, I would. I use that footprint with volume profile. That's right. Okay, you're very welcome, Timothy. The biggest improvement that we see for MT4 probably is coming from MT4 Professional, and then what MT4 Professional is doing is making the Hawkeye scanner available, and it's going to be also available online. So that means that I will be able to see my scanner within my platform, so I can take it with me on my mobile device. I can look at it anywhere. I can have it signal and alert me when any of the conditions come aligned for me to take a trade, and it will send that to my mobile device, my phone, my tablet, or whatever I'm on. And since it is all cloud-based, then I can have this exact same setup on any computer I want to trade from by pulling it down from the cloud. So that would be, those are all nice features to have as well. The horizontal time frame bars we'll be able to pull those out real quick. Um, the one-click integration, the expansion of the scanner capability. So those are all features of higher-end platforms that aren't available outside of MT4 Professional. So those are all coming in. As far as Hawkeye is concerned, we are making some more volume information available. We're building more volume tools that are going to be available. Horizontal line, we're calling those different names, but we're looking at time frame integration for support and resistance, opening of a market. We're looking for volume spike information, and we're looking for leading edge volume profile. So we're trying to integrate that into our platform as well. So those are all the tools that we're working on. We hopefully will be coming out with those in the very near future. Probably after the summer, or maybe if things push back, then it'll probably be the first of the year before we get all the software upgrades put out. And then, of course, what I showed you at the very beginning, Hawkeye Tomahawk. The Tomahawk tool, again, is an awesome tool for if you're looking for longer time or shorter time frames. It gives you the ability to not only load, but to display all of your setups in a color-coded manner. So you're looking for overall trend. So here I've got all of my pairs. I'm looking at these are the pound. So I've got all of the pound pairs set up here. Why the Aussie US dollar is there, I'm not quite sure, but it says it's the pound. But I'll have to look to see why that is. That says Aussie, but it should be the pound US dollar. Yeah, it is the pound. For some reason, it's displaying the Aussie. And and you can see the color is the pound as well. So I'm not sure why that display is there. I'll check into that. So the scanner on the Tomahawk, we're going to be improving that as well. And more future updates, integrating with the multiple time frame Fatman. So here you've got 1 minute, you've got a 3 minute and an 8 minute Fatman. So all these are live. I'm looking at 1, 2, 3, 15, and 60-minute scanner results, and all these are all 3-minute charts. And so you can see all these are live. All these are tradable directly as they are, so they are all fully integrated into the platform itself. So if you don't know all the Hawkeye tools, and you can get started with the subscription to Tomahawk for only $47 to get going on that, and it's a great setup. Sorry about that. Any last minute questions before we head out? You're welcome, KC. All right. Will do. Yeah, I'm going to be speaking with Terry a little bit later this afternoon, so maybe you can join us on that conversation, Casey. That'd be great. You're welcome, John. Are there other questions? The pound is starting to gain a lot of strength against the Canadian. You can see the weakness in that Canadian is continuing to show. The Australian, the pound and the Australian, we're showing trends of strength, but you see shorter time frame, the Australian is showing a nice trend of weakness relative to the strong pound. So that strength is shown here relative to the weakness, and so the resulting charts give you the ability to take those as trades. Here's the pound yen, the pound dollar. Those are the two predominant ones. You can see that euro pound, that strength coming in against that euro. Okay, gave a nice little downtrend. So that's the only one relative to the secondary term. You can see why we would be seeing that. The oil numbers just came out. That's why you would probably see it, because Canadian is highly correlated to the oil market. I think the inventories are going to be extremely low, so that's going to be pushing oil prices back up again. So if you're in the markets or if you're long in the markets, then it's probably going to react down if it's already priced back in. And I would be looking for trading the continuation trade of that. It'll probably react down and then trade right back up again, or vice versa. I'm expecting it right now to have a big knee jerk down, even though the numbers are going to come out bullish for price, but low on the inventory. So thank you very much for your time and attention. I appreciate everyone's questions. If you do have any other questions or comments, then I can be reached if you go to the bottom of any page on the Hawkeye website, then you can click on the Contact Us information. Once you do that, you can fill out the form, hit enter, or email us at support@hawkeyetraders.com. We'll be more than glad to get back to you. We give everybody a 24-hour, a full working day. We make sure that we'll get back to you very quickly and that we'll be responsive to any of your requests. Find out more information on Hawkeye's website. Take advantage of my specials and also be looking out for the 20% off specials coming this weekend in honor of Memorial Day and our memorials for that. So thank you for your time and attention today. I appreciate it. That concludes my class for today. You guys take care, and I will see you the same time next week for TradeStation training. Next week we'll be focused particularly on the TradeStation platform. Let me go ahead and stop the recording at this point.